Yeah, guys, before we move on to our next one, I want to remind everybody that you guys can get buckets with your first bet on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Because right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any $5 bet. That's $150 if your bet wins. You guys can bet on all your favorite NBA players and teams with quick bets, live same-game parlays, exclusive props, and much more. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and shoot your shot. FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. So
And
Mike,
do you want to set up
you
this?
to set this next one up because you kind of got into it on Twitter yesterday, and this was your idea. So I want you to.
You
pitch
got
to
into
everybody.
it with somebody on Twitter?
I mean, do you consider like having a conversation with someone on Twitter?
Getting
into it? Like, it was a civil conversation.
Oh no,
It was civil?
If it was civil,
It was
then
civil.
yeah.
Yeah. It
Wasn't
civil.
no exclamation marks or no.
No, it was a civil discourse. It was two people looking at the same thing from very different perspectives.
Okay.
In my opinion, I'm right, and this person was wrong.
You don't never get into it with nobody. You like,
usually,
you like everybody loves you.
you just don't like to. I don't like to tell fans how to fan, and this is essentially what this whole thing boils down to.
You told a fan how to fan?
No, I
finally?
didn't. I didn't.
Okay.
Someone was trying to, and my point is, I think it's unfair to tell a fan how to fan. And, okay, we'll get to it. So, there has been, since his return from injury, a lot of criticism of Darius Garland. And Donovan Mitchell, after the game against Washington, came out, and we talked about it yesterday, saying he thought the criticism of Darius was unfair, unkind, and a little overblown considering he's coming back from injury and what he's done historically throughout his time in Cleveland. So there was some discourse on Twitter last night, and that's what Donovan Mitchell said. He used an explicit word to describe the criticism. So then there was some back and forth. He said bullshit. Like, it is what it is.
You petty.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really read that.
The way people have been talking is effing ridiculous. It's BS. It's not fair to him.
So that led to a discussion, and you can take the tweet up. I don't even know who this guy was who tweeted it.
It's a family show.
He said if Donovan leaves, it's because people insulted his in-real-life best friend, Darius Garland. And how will he feel about a fan base turning on a player after a slump and injury? Then led...
This is what you tweeted back to.
Someone then quote tweeted this, and I responded to the... Actually, It was Evan Damrow, Locked On, who we like. We like Evan. Good dude. And he said fans should just essentially be positive and you don't need to be negative. And I was like, well, you can't tell a fan how to fan.
No, I agree with that.
We'll get to that part of it in a sec. But Tyvis, you played at a professional level. Do you think fan opinions... You played.
People tend to forget.
4 years. 4 years. Do you think fan opinions, NFL, NBA, whatever, good or bad, have any impact on a player's decision to sign with a certain team or not? Or is what we say on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, on this show or any other show, just mindless chatter and it has no impact on a player's decision? Because I think there's a very obvious answer, and if you disagree...
You're saying, does fans chatter
impact
my decision if I want to stay with a team?
So we'll make this into the Donovan conversation. Do you think Donovan seeing people being mad about Darius Garland's play on Twitter impact his decision to re-sign or potentially not re-sign with the Cavs? Will it have any impact at all?
Put the camera on me.
Please say what I think you're going to say.
No.
Thank you.
Get him.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely not. Why would that? Listen, at the end of the day, I care about the people that's in my building. Okay? That's my boy. Like, as long as I got the respect of my peers and my coaches, and I'm playing the game that I love, and I know that every night I go out there and do everything I can to play well, and they want to reward me with a contract, and I want to be here, I'm going to sign that contract. I don't care really what Timmy in Brook Park has to say. Like that what does that have to do with anything?
Timmy in Brook Park's a dog on Twitter, though, bro. Come on. He's ruthless.
Timmy in Brook Park does nothing for me.
What about Alex and Solon?
Alex and Solon has nothing to do with what I do. Because the thing is, Timmy from Brook Park and Alex from Solon don't realize the things that go into getting on the court and being the best player and being a really good player. They only focus on what they see. Maybe I had a bad night. Maybe I'm coming off an injury. Like, of course it's going to take me some time to get right. Like, come on, it's a lot of things that go into these things that people don't think about. So you're never, ever going to take something that a fan says. Because if you do, you need to go look yourself in the mirror. Because they got something way bigger than that. If a fan's comment makes you feel that bad, then you got a problem. So I never really paid attention. I mean, I looked at it. Obviously, people said what they said about me. If I had a bad game, and I said this on the radio a couple days ago, I respect Buckeye Nation so much because I'm wired different than a lot of people. So when I had a bad game at Ohio State or in the league, and I went and checked my Twitter and I got all these bad messages and bad DMs, I took it out of a sign of love because it's like, you care.
They expect you to be better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see that I'm a good player and you want to hold me to a certain standard. And I was like, you know what? All right, dang. You know what? Let me get better so I can be good and I don't have to worry about these things. I don't really need you to tell me that because my coach is going to say that and my teammates is going to tell me that anyways.
But you respect it.
I respect that you care about Ohio State football or whatever, or the 9 organizations that I play for football so much, and you want to see them at a high level. And I'm going to get there. So I ain't about to be salty
before
over
you go,
Tim.
real quick, Ty, not just you personally, but any of your teammates, whether it was Seattle, Denver, San Francisco, did they ever say, I wouldn't sign with Team X because of the fan base?
No.
Just wanted to make sure that was on the record. Earl?
All right, so the question is, can fan behavior impact the player's re-sign decision? I mean, that's good and bad to everything. If that was the case, the Cleveland Browns would have every Cleveland-based player that's a dog playing for the Cleveland Browns right now if a player was deciding on where they was going to play at behind what a fan had to say. As far as Donovan Mitchell go, listen, we talked about this already. He has prioritized winning. He has put pressure on the Cavs organization to put a team around him that can compete and that can win, possibly win an NBA championship. I don't think Donovan Mitchell was going to make a business decision based on what some fans of the Cleveland Cavaliers have to say or don't have to say. This is not his first rodeo, and correct me if I'm wrong, they have like seminars for athletes to deal with these type of things when you get to the professional level. And so for some fans to think that he won't re-sign here because somebody is being critical of another man that he just happened to play with, that's BS. Right, and that's not.
I don't understand.
That's not how professionals go about things. But like you, I'm not gonna tell a fan how to fan.
Why would that? I'm not gonna sign here because y'all mean to Darius. What? What does that even sound like?
So
that's Darius's problem, anyways.
I got an opportunity to be on the set, man, but I looked up and they was talking bad about Tyvis, so I'm not gonna take my opportunity on the set today.
To me, it's like
it don't make sense
in the big picture. In the big picture, and there's extremes to every fan base, and Cleveland's not excluded to that. There's extremes on both sides of the fence, in the positive and the negative. But for the most part, Cleveland media and fans are really lenient and pretty kind towards the players that play for their teams. I mean, I'll use a couple examples, but the New York Yankees booed Aaron Judge in a playoff game. Tyvis, can you imagine if the Cavs crowd booed Donovan Mitchell
they probably
in a playoff game?
They would do. They should have.
They
last
would though.
season.
they
should have last playoff.
Well, they haven't yet, but I'm saying if that was the case and
Miles Garrett got booed.
My point is, if that was a reason not to sign with a team, the Yankees would never sign anybody. If the Yankees ever had an issue signing a player, Philadelphia and their fans have a CVS-long history of throwing batteries at players and running guys out of town.
Who do that?
Philadelphia.
The Phillies?
Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles? They throw
fans.
batteries?
They throw batteries at
Why
players,
batteries?
Steve has?
Steve Becker, were you one of the battery throwers in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Where were you that night, Steve?
Boo!
I need visual
Boo
proof you were
this
not.
man! Boo!
No player would sign in Boston or LA or Chicago or Dallas or any of the major media markets that have multiple beat reporters covering the team. I mean, in Cleveland with the Cavs, just for example, you have Chris Fedor. But to my knowledge, he's the only day-to-day, everyday beat reporter of the Cavs at a major publication in the city.
Why did Jason give that up?
Because the Athletic wanted to do more. He's at a higher position than just the Cavs now.
Okay.
So he took the bag.
Well,
and Jason,
shout
respect.
out-
He got
shout
a
out
very
to
nice
you,
house and a car.
Jason.
Yeah. But, like, in general, the Cleveland media is pretty lenient on these guys as opposed to what happens in other cities. So if you can't handle Cleveland and you're upset, and I'm not making this about Donovan Mitchell, I'm just saying if you're upset how they're treating Darius here in Cleveland, go look what they did to R.J. Barrett in New York City. And go look how they treated a handful of other guys in major markets. And I just don't understand how someone could think that what Timmy in Brook Park, or Zach from Solon, or Dylan from Ohio City, or McNuggets in downtown could impact their decision to stay. And for everyone who says, well, just everyone be positive, yeah, in a perfect world, everyone's nice to everybody, right?
Right.
You know,
It's
we
just-
don't live in La La world.
It's fans out there that just say wild things just to say them. Like, people would tell you to go drink bleach or go kill yourself.
But that's-
like that. Like, you get them all the time.
But
like,
the fan is short
why
for
would
fanatic.
like that's the point.
It's
Like,
in the word.
that
Like,
comes with playing the thing.
Yes.
Like, that's when you play the sport. Like, that's what's gonna happen. You are gonna have somebody that's gonna say some stuff. Some of them be kind of funny to me. When I used to play, I ain't gonna lie.
Just
So
think
I
about
used
it,
to
though.
laugh at a lot
It
of
would be
them.
boring if everybody thought the same, if everybody had
Yeah.
the same outlook, the same opinions. Like, you can never tell fans how to fan. Like, people are emotional behind Cleveland sports teams, right? This is our entertainment.
makes working the Cleveland market amazing.
I'm not
Yes.
saying it in a bad way. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no,
a
I'm
beautiful thing.
emphasizing- yeah.
Like, everybody should have a difference of opinion. I don't knock nobody who believe that, you know, Donovan Mitchell might not stay here because they talked about his teammate. If you're somebody who believe that,
That's hilarious.
Good
I'm
for
not
you.
gonna knock you for your opinion, man, 'cause I know
Each their
how I
own.
feel when I give my opinion and people get up in arms because it's my opinion.
That's like
That's your opinion.
That's
I
like
respect
when
it.
Mike left Giannis off his top 5 of all time list. I didn't say nothing to him, even though he's 100%
I
wrong.
mean, and he thinks Philip Walker
And he
is a
think
good
Philip Walker-
quarterback.
yeah,
So,
I didn't. That's not what I said.
well, he's a winner. I
That's
mean,
He's a winner.
Yeah.
That's
he's
what
a
I
winner.
said.
So, hey, you know,
But like when it comes to telling fans how to fan, that's kind of really where I have an issue, because this whole idea that everyone should just be positive all the time and upbeat and only celebrate the good, part of what makes the enjoyment and the pure euphoria of the good moments of being a fan is going through the trials and tribulations, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of the come up. And you know, I do think there are levels of criticism that are completely unwarranted. When it becomes personal at somebody, when you go after their family or their girlfriend or husband or whatever the situation is, if it's unjust, unbiased, and not based in, you know, an opinion or a fact, then yeah, there are levels of criticism that cross the line. But for the most part, being critical is what we all do of people we can't do what they do. Like, I'm critical of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and George Niang and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley in certain circumstances. I couldn't do what they do. I can never do what Tyvis did, and sometimes, or Greg Newsome, and I can still sit here and say I didn't think Greg Newsome played a great game against the Houston Texans. Can you imagine after the Texans game if we were like, man, that Browns defense, they really gave a lot of effort, better, like, that's
boring.
It's
That's
not
a
how,
lie.
It's not how society or real life works. So when I see people on Twitter be like, hey, just be positive and let's be kind, it's just,
No, just
that's not reality. It's not the world we live in.
Listen, as a fan, what you do, like what I do, is you call it what it is. Like, and the thing is, as long as you can keep the thing within sports, you're good. You can criticize his play. His play was terrible. He's terrible. They shouldn't have signed him. All those things. You can say all that. He had a terrible game. He can't shoot threes or whatever. He can't tackle. Whatever the case may be. Keep it there. It's just as long as once you go past off the court, that's when or off the field, that's when
there's
it
a
gets bad.
fine line between criticism, stating your opinion, and just being flat out disrespectful. And I think that's where
Yeah.
he's getting to. Like, you can have a crazy ass opinion about something, right? And because somebody think your opinion is that crazy, they feel like it's okay to be disrespectful towards you. And then that's where things turn from people just speaking their opinions to where, all right, now this is something else to me. This is no longer fun and games. And so, like, as long as you're being respectful, as long as, like, you know, you understand everybody has an opinion, then we'll be cool. You might not like it, you might not agree with it, but you don't have to, like, verbally, like, beat somebody up or, like, be out here trying to embarrass people or publicly trying to humiliate people. Like, people don't know that's bully behavior. And when you exhibit bully behavior, everybody hates a bully.
And the discourse of being a fan and the back and forth of being a fan and
Yeah.
the fact that we could look at the exact same situation, right? We'll use Philip Walker, for example. And whether or not Tyvis truly believes Philip's good or this is the longest running bit in UCSS
I'm not
history.
saying he's good. I said he's a winner. That's what I said.
He'll say he's a winner, and somebody be like, man, Tyvis is trash for that tape.
He's a winner.
But
And then I'll
But
say,
calling him trash for that take, in
go
my
look it
mind,
up.
That's being disrespectful.
Go look it up.
You might not like the take, but now he trash because you don't
But-
like his take.
but my point
You
with
see
the
what I'm saying?
Philip-
Like, that's what people
It's not
do, though.
but it's not a trash take. Go look at his
But I'm
record.
just saying, this is how people view other people's opinions.
And
Because they
that's
don't
why-
like it, they feel like they
Yeah.
can disrespect you.
But like Philip, whether he's a winner, Tyvis, yes. We look at Philip Walker, right? And some people are like, he was good enough to win games. And then I could look at a situation and say, I think they won games in spite of Philip Walker.
That's
and we
fine.
could go back and forth on what we believe is the truth because
That,
we're all our own people. all
that
have our own
probably
opinions.
might be true, but he still won the game.
But my point is the back and forth we have is what makes sports fun.
Yes.
Arguing MJ versus LeBron. Or, Tyvis, how about this? Giannis or LeBron for your sake. Or
It's not
arguing
it's not
whether
even close.
arguing whether Darius Garland should be coming off the bench or stuff. Like, that's what makes sports fun is these back and forth debates. And, of course, when you're making your point, you're going to try to find what validates your opinion and find what knocks down the other person's opinion. And that's what makes sports different than almost anything in the world is you could have these discussions, and preferably in a civil manner. But if everyone thought the same way and everyone had the same direct mindset of A plus B equals C, this show wouldn't exist.
I ain't gonna-
Radio wouldn't exist.
I'm not gonna
Is
say
that
no
the
name.
Wouldn't
Pythagorean?
exist.
Did you just quote the Pythagorean theorem?
Yeah, I think he did.
No, Pythagorean theorem.
A squared plus
Pythagorean-
B squared equals C
Yeah,
squared.
I didn't square nothing.
Oh, okay.
I
So-
just did algebra.
So like, there was a time, not gonna say his name, but I remember when Odell Beckham played here, and this was around the end of his tenure here. He ended up getting released and signing with the Rams.
Rams, yeah.
Oh, he went off too.
There's somebody who was giving their opinion, and it was like, yeah, that dude is a clown. And see, like, he could attest to that. Like, that's something that's a trigger. You can express your opinion about said player without getting personal like that, because my mindset always goes to, and I try to approach myself here the same way when I do my job. I would never get on this set and say anything about a player, a fan, or anybody that I can't say to their face. And sometimes when people like throw out these opinions and they use these derogatory terms, the first thing I always ask myself, if say a person was standing in your face, would you have that same energy?
99 of 100 times, the answer is no.
Yes, I would. Because I'm just telling it like it is. But I'm just being critical. I'm just critiquing your play. I'm not saying you stink or nothing like that. I'm just saying.
I was talking
that's
more
how
about
you
the
can do
people
it better.
online.
Oh, I thought
I don't think they're.
he was saying that, like, I put myself in that situation.
In here, yeah.
Yes,
I
I
don't say
would.
anything I wouldn't say to somebody here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, to say like, if you can't handle like the criticism from the fans and Cleveland media here, to your point, and markets like Philadelphia and markets like New York, you wouldn't be able to survive.
It's a different world.
Or you could just, you know what you could do if you want to be, if that bothers you that much, just cut social media off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never have to hear nothing. You won't see nothing. You'll think everything is great. The only people that you will pay attention to is the people that's in the building. So if you are weak-minded like that and you care about your friends and all of that, cut social media off and have somebody running for you. That way you won't see nothing.
So at the end of the day, Earl, we'll end this, and I think we have a special guest here in a sec. Is he ready?
Yeah, he's ready.
All right, well then let's we'll end with this. We'll bring in a special guest here, but
I gotta put this thing in my
Yeah,
ear
you
now. I
gotta
thought
put-
we ain't had no guest today.
yeah, well we weren't supposed to. This is
Somebody trying to cut in on our
surprise
time.
visitor. Yeah, can't get away,
That
can't get
explains why
enough.
when I got
Is
in
it
Earl's
Phillip?
ear earlier, he ignored me.
Is it Philip Walker?
It is
Yeah,
Philip
we ain't had no
Walker.
guest. I cut this out.
Let's bring
I'm
in
dealing with
Philip
the same
Walker.
stuff you dealing with.
And let's bring in Philip Walker after an
Is
ad
it
read.
Philip Walker?
This is a special surprise.
It's bull. It's bull.
Bull, you literally were gone for one day. You couldn't miss 2 shows.
I mean, I got to save you guys. If I have to listen for 2 more seconds of fans whining about people being negative, throw up already.
Did you see the discourse on Twitter? Hopefully you're not online while you're standing by the ocean here in Tampa, but did you see the kind of back and forth and the spiral that came from that first tweet and then the not millions, but the hundreds of other people in Cleveland chiming in on whether or not some fans' opinion will impact Donovan Mitchell's decision to stay or leave?
I saw, believe it or not, even though I'm on with you guys, I have not been on my phone much until now. 'Cause everybody else is doing something else.
That's cap, boy. That's what we call cap.
Have it, Earl. It's not. And by the way, when you guys, there's no controversy. It's stupid. And you can't even say, you guys are, and by the way, you guys in your argument, you're making a mistake. You say, well, you can complain, but you can't be disrespectful. Well, who decides what's disrespectful? I got some knucklehead
You
in
know
the
it's
chat saying,
disrespectful. Stop it.
Yeah.
You know it's
well,
disrespectful.
wait a second, Tyvis. I got some knucklehead in the chat like, Bull and Jay cut people off. Well, I don't do that to be disrespectful. it's passionate. Like we're debating and we're passionate, and so sometimes you cut somebody off when you're having a debate. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, and I don't think it's disrespectful.
All right,
Because if you're not intending to be disrespectful, it's a different
I'm
story.
gonna be
Let's
honest
play
with
devil
you,
advocate,
boy.
though, boy.
When you cut me off, I never take it as disrespect. It's because I'm so used to y'all doing it all the time that it's just how the show
I
is.
think disrespect is in the eye of the beholder. So, boy, what if somebody told you being cut off makes them feel like they being disrespected? How would you carry yourself?
I mean, I don't like when I cut somebody off, it's not even like I'm consciously thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's in the moment. It's not like I'm actively thinking, screw this guy, I don't respect him, I'm cutting him off. It's just in the moment I'm worked up because, maybe somebody's saying something so out of pocket.
I don't think that's what he's saying, but I think he's saying when you're characterizing a player, speaking about an individual who's not here with us, or when you were doing radio, you're not talking about him. That kind of disrespect. But I think overall,
No, he's saying somebody in the chat said that he's being disrespectful when he cut people off.
Like, Bull, the first thing you told us when we met was, can't always listen to the chat. You know that.
Oh yeah, I don't care what anybody like. I don't care about the negative people. The reason I keep Twitter and I look at chat to people. The negative people, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to take their advice because if their advice meant anything, then they'd be doing this and I'd be sitting on the couch.
Bull.
Although I am sitting on the couch right now.
Bull, let me ask you a question. The Browns are letting Harrison Bryant test the free agent market. Okay, so we're gonna need a tight end too. Okay, if a tight end runs a 4.3, should the Browns use him and use their second round pick to grab that guy?
A second round pick for a tight end too? Tyvis, are you crazy?
Well,
No
the combine is coming up, and one of the questions was, what does the combine sway our opinion of people? And I was just thinking, since they need a tight end too, that's a position that Kevin Stefanski loves.
And we know Bull is very persuadable.
He'll be a mismatch.
I'm
boy.
persuadable.
Yeah, he doesn't think for himself. He's just all groupthink.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible idea. I hate the combine. Regular Joes think they learn things at the combine. The combine is a total waste of time for most media and fans. It's only important for players to make connections, for media members to talk to coaches, for coaches to talk to coaches. You don't really learn anything as a fan because you're not, and that includes me and most media members, because we don't know enough to know what you're really seeing and how much that really matters. We pretend, like the guys who pretend that they know something or they learn. This guy from South Carolina, he looked great. Shut up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know that guy. You never heard of him before. You pretend you're smart. Don't try to pretend. By the way, how bad am I with this camera? Like
you're horrible. You are horrible with the camera, boy. Your camera skills is out of pocket. I don't know why.
Because I can't see you guys right now. I see me and then a delayed version of me. It's driving me nuts. I don't know what's going on.
Steve, crazy.
Look at this view, though, guys. Look at the view.
Bull, how's the food down there so far? You eating well?
Yes. The food great. I had a lobster roll last night.
Nice.
I had some baked clams last night. We went to a spring training game yesterday, Blue Jays Pirates. That was fun. I almost got into 2 fights at the game.
Oh, well, please share. Share.
Lord. Was you out of pocket, boy? Was you being disrespectful?
No, I was not out of pocket. So I got good seats for the game, right?
Yeah.
And we're sitting in the third row, but it was too hot. It was sunny. We got 4 kids. It was too hot. So I'm like, all right, let's go up and sit in the back. So we're in the shade, right? So, and as we're settling in to get into our seats, this guy is complaining that we're standing up for like the first pitch. I'm like, dude, it's 30 seconds of a spring training game. Take it easy, man. But he didn't want any smoke, this guy, so he just shut up after that. But then later in the game, it's like the 7th or 8th inning, and I got the kids, and I'm explaining to them some things about baseball, and you know me, I got a loud voice, and this woman who's sitting there with a pair of headphones she got in 1952 turns around to me and says, "Excuse me, I appreciate your education of the game, but could you be quiet? I'm trying to listen to the game."
So you almost fought a woman.
What's that?
You almost fought a woman.
Well, I didn't actually fight. I'm kidding. I wasn't going to fight her, but she was obnoxious. So I was not out of pocket in either of these scenarios. I'd call myself out if I was out of pocket, but in this case, I was not out of pocket at all.
So,
by the way, guys, the place I'm staying at, the owner of this place, it's a husband and wife, but the husband is Bill Gramatica, who was a kicker in the NFL for a few years. Remember? And his brother Martin Gramatica was the Buccaneers kicker.
Was he the one that tore his ACL celebrating the extra point?
For the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Cardinals. I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well, Bull, enjoy vacation. We appreciate you stopping by for a sec. I'm expecting this to be a daily occurrence now, right? This is going to happen once a day.
No, it's just one. Anthony didn't even want to put me on. He's telling me you guys are too busy. I was
already killed one topic today.
Anthony. What's that,
I've already
Anthony?
killed one topic today, Bull. I don't know what you want from me.
I mean, they spent 15 minutes talking about whether it's okay for fans to be mean. The combine talk, I didn't need any of that. We got Tyvis coughing all over the place, making everybody
Boy,
sick.
you're not even on the damn show. You gonna take a shot at Anthony's content? Hey, and he even let you on. He killed a segment for you. This is a damn shame.
This the
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, you know the great
Chat's
part
talking
about
about
being behind the glass, though? Steve, take him.
I'm kidding.
Drop
I
him.
love
Bye, Bull.
Anthony.
Yo.
We got a cat.